Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising. Today is a new day to start again. It is 10/23/2025. If I seem like I got a little swagger, things have been going pretty well. Let's get into it. I haven't done a video in a long time, and I just want to circle back to all my friends. I wonder who wrote the book of love. My life has been kind of on a whirlwind. I want to dedicate this video to my daughter, Nancy Marie. She is a bold, beautiful blonde with a heart of gold. I want to give a little context here. My father owned a golf course, and I grew up on that, helped run it for a while. I've been in golf most of my life. I was given such a great golf experience. And I have 4 daughters who I've exposed to golf, and I haven't done as well as I should have probably in presenting golf because I didn't have a golf course to provide and I had a lot less money. So that's part of it. Other parts is it took me a while to learn how to do things in life, and sometimes I made mistakes as a parent, just trying to do my best. But you know how things can get with emotions and when you're really trying hard to do something. So I have a lot of regrets also as my failures as a deadbeat dad. So I have this daughter that's got all this beautiful talent that if I would have been in a better position as a father, which is my duty, she would have been able to be in a much better position of using her talents and being able to shine. So what was so amazing about this entire thing was I got to witness my daughter shine regardless. Because, you know, we do a lot of things as parents and we just do the best we can to help. But when you see it in action in front of you, and the grace that she composed and showed and taught me was just amazing, honestly. That's real. So I want to try to kind of give that my best and give a little descriptions of it because you need receipts. I did want to point back because I had a little circle around this. I found out something during this week that I'd never heard before. Somebody said, don't ever wear a dead man's shoes. And it's lingered in my head for a while. And for some reason, it's starting to really hit home like, you're not supposed to do that. And I'd first of all, there's a gentleman's home that I'm living in now. And he had some slippers and I was wearing them around. And I'm like, I understand that actually. I should probably not. So I'm not going to wear those. I'm not going to throw them away, but I'm not going to wear the shoes. Then I thought, I've been buying a lot of shoes at Goodwill, and there's a pretty good chance one of those people might be dead. So I'm wearing their dead shoes. And I think that there might be something to, unless you have some kind of a ritual you can do that says this is no longer in the energy of remembrance, I guess. I don't know. I thought about that a lot. But I do think that these gifts that we give each other should be more intentful. And if we could get to that as a society, it would be just such a more beautiful place to be, that you show effort as opposed to money, which is not really effort. Anyways, let's get back to Nancy Marie. So what I was trying to allude to or get to is she's overexcelled considering the amount of exposure she's had to playing golf. In competitive golf, you have to play 18 holes and you have to walk it, which is a lot of work. And your body has to get used to doing that, especially under very tight, difficult circumstances with your parents over your shoulder and other people watching. Some of these kids have been doing that since they were 8. Mine hasn't. Some of these kids have been hitting golf balls on a routine basis and playing 3 or 4 times a summer day, every day, and my kid is not. she's just had some raw talent and a little bit of what I think is some pretty good instruction, but it has been very limited because of just, I don't want to get into complications other than life. But she has a lot of talent. She just really needs more exposure if she wants to do that. So all I really wanted her to do was have some payoff because she put a lot of work into it. I'd heard she was struggling her senior year, and I'm not trying to make this about me, but as a father, that's what I wanted to do, was to try to reconnect and at least give her something so where she gets to shine in the end. And boy, did she. But it wasn't me. I just got to witness it. I really was selfish in the whole thing. I knew it was going to happen. I knew I was going to get to see this great moment of my daughter, and I wanted to be there. So I had to do some things so that I could go through the whole story, but it would be really long, and I'm going to try to keep this short because it's really special for me. Nancy Marie, okay, I've already kind of done that. It's cool. I've actually talked to a lot about this. So what I want to say is I am not the hero in this story at all. I wanted to go see her and help her as much as I could in a limited amount of time. I've been in a lot of self-reflection, and I've had to do a lot of work in dealing with past pain and how to stand up in society, especially for my kids. So my main purpose going to her was to help and to give love in any way that I could and not allow any other kind of negativity, regardless of motives or whatever. I was going to shun that in every way possible. And that was my main goal. And that came off cold, I'm sure, in some ways. But that was my mechanism. And I believe what my general goal was to be the best I could be. I do want to say this as well. I've got really some great things going on in my life. And I was presented with an angel that I'd asked for. And it's been a confirmation for me that everything that I have been walking towards has had alignment, because that's what I've been trying to do. And it's just been, I could get deep into this personal matter, but what I want to say is it was a crescent moment in my life, which also happened to coincide with my daughter in this crescent moment of her life. And so it was kind of amazing to witness it together, even though she really doesn't know that I'm going through this. I was trying to just go through and give her my best because I had a lot to give. So I was just trying to do my best from a limited basis. I did get into some criticism of how I was able to help her because it seemed very difficult. I felt like I didn't get, let's just say this. I did want to come in and run the show, and I knew that I could not do that. So I had to just basically do my best to run the show from the side in a very quiet, but I did interject in a couple places. So I guess I can get into a couple of those. She was on the cart path in one of these positions, and I pointed to the coach not on our team, to Nancy Marie, I just kind of pointed to her that she's on the cart path, and the coach went over and went through the rules with her that she could move her ball and get for free. And so actually I found out later that she wishes that I didn't do that because she liked her angle, but I wanted to reapproach and say, I get that, but it was just an approach. It got you you don't want to try to do something crazy there. It gives you a better chance to get a lie, even if the angle isn't, and you get your feet off. But you're right, though. I shouldn't have got in the middle. So that was one place. But she didn't have to take it. All I was trying to do was say, you need to understand your options. That's in every situation, you should understand your options and at least give the ability to look. Now, if I could have been there, I would have said, but you don't have to do that. If you like this, go. That's what I wanted to say to her, but I couldn't. So it's really hard. You're behind the ropes watching your daughter, and I'll get into that later, the ups and the downs. It's one of the most difficult things to do. You're out there and you have no power. You're just like, so I'm trying to like channel the best of that I can of anything that I can think of that might give her positive energy and love. That's all I really wanted to do because that's all I could do from the background, and maybe come up with things to keep my mind off of just how impactful of a moment this is for her, and it's her moment, not mine. So I told her if so basically I got to go and see her play in a match, and so I got to see the only session that I got to of driving range that I got with Nancy Marie is my daughter's name. I got to go the first time I went about 3 weeks ago. I got to go and I picked her up, or she we went. I picked her up, yes, and we went to the driving range, and I had one little driving session because she hadn't been hitting her driver well, and I have a ability. Me and her have had a connection where I've kind of gotten her into the right flow of it, and she started to smash it, but she didn't want to use it that day, the next day, because it was too fresh, and I didn't want to interfere with what her coaching was, which I basically agreed with. If you can't hit the driver, you should be hitting whatever they're going to have you hit. But I really believe that her superpower is a driver. I think she could be one of the great drivers of the ball, really, if she wanted to be. She has a great frame and she's got a great swing path. She just has to be on line with it. And she has to pick the right line. And so you just have to get into a mode of always doing that as your flow. And she's kind of getting there, but I don't have anyways. So I was trying to help her get to that position, and in like one little driving range session, and I didn't want to make her bang balls before she's got to play 18 holes, which she's barely played 18 holes. So we only hit a small bucket. So then the next day I got to watch her play 18 holes, and I stayed out of the way. I was the only one there that day. That was kind of nice. I had one day with my girl just getting to watch her play golf, and she fought through, and it was fun. And she played 18 holes and finished. What was really cool in the end, she struggled, but she had some good moments, and she had enough good moments that she finished 11th and in the all conference, second all team. So she got a medal, and she was all really happy about it. And that was a cool dad moment for me. I got to just kind of be there. So then I got to play the next day. I got to take her back to that same golf course that we just played, and I kind of just tried to show her how you might play that a little different so that you could score better. And I just got to do some teaching moments and things, and had some really amazing moments. I guess I'll go through a couple of those. No, I don't want to give those up. Those are me and Nancy's. So I watched maybe if we get into an intimate situation, I'll tell you. I watched on my app. So this is what happened, basically. So after that, she had to go through, and she got to go to districts, which was her first leg to go to the state championship. It's the only leg, really. You got to pass through districts, and then you go to the state, which is pretty cool if you just get one big moment. So I found this app when I was watching them play that the coaches had that has real time, and not real time, but they put the scores in, and then you basically get real time scoring. And so I had that downloaded on my phone. If anybody plays fantasy football, guys are known for like just kind of refreshing whenever it's a competitive match going on because the scores just continually update. When it's your kid and it's a big moment for her, oh my gosh, that's like to the 100,000th degree. It's incredibly stressful, and it takes a long time. So I'm watching it real time, and what goes crazy in the beginning is there's a lot of kids in this district match. They all shotgun starts, means they all started at the same time. So the scores are basically equivalent. And after the first 6 holes, Nancy Marie is in third place. And there's a pretty wide margin between her and a whole big field behind her. So it's just like, it's really early, but yeah, I guess it's through 5 holes. And then I have to sit there and watch it and wait. And then all of a sudden it uploads, and it's a par 3 that I'm waiting on, and it drops a 7. And I just like felt like I fell all the way through the earth into the darkest hole that could be imagined. And I was just like, oh, because I could tell I know what she had to have just been just it's hard to melt down. It's just really hard to do. You have to just deal with it, and it's just there's nothing you can do. You have to finish the hole, especially in these ones where they can't pick up their ball. And it just and if you have high expectations, and in golf, you get a good start going, you start to fill your head with ideas of things, and your expectations change. It's why it's so important to maintain just a mellow. So anyway, she's out there and she's killing it, and she kind of just fell apart. But she kept stumbling along. I will concede that I sent a text message, and this was my favorite part of that whole day. I sent a text message that said, "Shake that off, you're still in it." And then she gave me, and I put, "I love you," and she gave me a love symbol back. That's one of my favorite things when I'm estranged from my kids, is when I say I love you to them, and then they say I love you back to me, and then I get a hit the heart thing. And I just getting to hit the heart thing is fun for me. It makes me feel connected, which is really weird. That's how technology works, I guess, when you're in estrangement. But I think it is about intent. Anyways, so I'm watching, and she just falls, and she's just falling and falling and falling. And I keep sending encouraging text messages just because I felt, and then finally I was chilling towards the end, and then one sporadic at a time, just because I wanted to make sure she knew I didn't give up on her. But what was really encouraging is I did keep saying, "You're still in it. You're still in this. You're still in this. Just keep your head up. Keep going. Keep going. These other kids are playing bad too. It is what it is." And what I was so proud of is I'm so on pins and needles because I know she's really, really close. All she really wanted to do was make state, but she probably started to think that she might be able to compete in this thing in the beginning of this. And then so as she started to see it, she started out so good. She had a pretty good envelope because the other kids started out so bad. And so she could do a lot of dropping, and she did. But at the very end, I didn't get to be there. Apparently, I didn't even know this, but the mother of my children's, her mother was there. So I'm sure she helped in the encouragement at the end. But she bogeyed the last two holes, and by the skin of her teeth, she was the last one to qualify for state, which was really. But I didn't get to be there. But I had promised her after we played that if she made it to state, I'd go. And I knew it was going to cause an uproar, but I wanted to go. So I went. And I just want to say that it was just a great experience. I got to I got there really early. So it was a pretty easy trip for me, really. I got there, I rented a car. It wasn't an easy trip.